Welcome back, everybody. It's Coach Garey, and I'm here to talk about a few things that happened to me in my illustrious life. And one of those things is that I spent 29 years overseas. All right, rolling. Now, 7 of those years were in Europe, where our culture isn't that different than here in the States. We come from the old world. Our families, a lot of our families came from Europe. But in 1976, I got invited to fly out to India. India is a whole nother world. Back in the 1970s, it was a completely different world. And there was a lot to get used to. The food, the people, the culture, the sights, the sounds, and the smells. Okay? There's a lot going on there. And as it happens, when Westerners go to India, generally we get problems with our stomach because of the hygiene that we're not used to that type of hygiene. It's a different type of hygiene. And the water that the local people can drink is not the same water that we can drink. We have to boil the water, or we have to use potassium permanganate to wash our vegetables to kill some of the bugs and bacteria that we would not be used to. So I spent a good part of a decade in India. And later on, I moved over to China, and I spent 3 years in China teaching at a local school and also teaching business English to the famous Johnson & Johnson company, where their Chinese leadership had to travel and go overseas and make business deals and use English as their link language to be able to conduct business. So I had a fun time over in visiting those countries and living in those countries. But what happened to me personally was I also experienced the normal illnesses and sicknesses that accompany being in foreign lands. So I contracted hepatitis, which was really an experience because I became a vegetarian. Not out of choice, but out of absolute desperation. If I wanted anything to pass through my system, it could not have any fat in it whatsoever. And you may think chicken is a lean meat. I'm going to tell you something. Chicken has a lot of fat in every fiber of the chicken. So no meat, a lot of squash, boiled squash. And I'll tell you what the saving grace was. It was grapes. Fruit kept me alive. So a year of that. And during that time, I realized that there's a whole nother system of medicine in India that you may have heard of. It's called Ayurveda. And that is a 5,000 or 6,000 year old practice of using the herbs that are abundant in India and creating concoctions that will help the body to process things properly. And my liver was healed over the course of a year, taking a very simple little capsule of some herbs that really put me right and helped me a lot. Similar thing happened to me in China, where I got to experience firsthand what it's like to go to a Chinese doctor. And in foreign countries, things are not done the way we're used to them. There's not much of a concept of personal space and privacy. Maybe because in India there was 1 billion people, and in China there was 1.3 billion people. So everything is conducted rather publicly, and I had my examination with the doctor because my back had been injured, and on a table in front of about 30 other people who were waiting to see the doctor. So that's the way business is done in a doctor's office in China. Well, thankfully, this gentleman had knowledge in his fingers, and he could feel in my spine what was happening, and he was able to give me what amounted to a chiropractic adjustment. And I know that he never had studied or heard of anything about chiropractic. That's not something that's taught or used in China. But this knowledge and this ability to be able to heal people is intrinsic in all cultures. We all have certain aspects and ways of looking at health that do work, and that's the amazing thing. So probably the bottom line I want to share here, that is the takeaway: wherever you are, there is ample opportunity to be healthy, to regain health when you lose it, and above all, to be grateful for the good health that you have. So when you look at a glass of water, is that cup half empty or is that cup half full? I see the cup as half full. If you have a question that we have not answered up till now, put the question down below. We will make a video for you.